Hi class, even though I'm not going to be able to be there today, I still want us to have our countries ready to present to the rest of the class tomorrow. As I said before, one of the last things that we need to do is add latitude and longitude lines to our posters. So the first thing I need you to do is to draw 5 lines of latitude and 5 lines of longitude. In order to do this, you're going to need your poster and you're going to need a ruler. My poster is probably not going to be the same size. I had to put some paper together, but I'm going to make marks, 5 marks down the side of my paper for my latitude and 5 marks at the top of my paper for longitude. Each mark for latitude I measured about 3 inches apart. So if you look on my poster, you'll see I made a mark every 3 inches. So I put my ruler up to the side and measured 3 inches. I made a small mark, another 3 inches, made a small mark, another 3 inches, I made a small mark. My marks are very dark so you can see them. You should probably use pencil. You don't want to draw your lines in too heavy. So once you have 5 lines of latitude, latitude are the lines that go this way, and 5 lines of longitude, if you remember the longitude lines go up and down. Once you have 5 lines of each marked out, you can draw the lines across your country. So you're going to use pencil preferably to draw a line of latitude all the way across your country. So your lines will cross over everything that you've included in your country. So they start from the north and go down to the south. There should be 5 of them. I'm going to finish up my line so you can see a finished product. And hopefully you're being a little more careful with your lines than I am. Mine aren't very straight. So when I hold up my map, you can see I have lines of latitude that go up and down the side of my paper. So once you have your latitude lines done, you can go ahead and draw on your longitude lines. You can measure between 3 and 4 inches between your longitude lines as well. So my longitude lines, if I took my ruler, because my paper's longer, I measured about 4 inches and made a mark. Another 4 inches, made a mark. On the side for latitude, I only measured 3 inches because my paper is shorter on that side. So just like the latitude lines, you should have 5 longitude lines. And your map should look a little bit like a grid when you're done. And the lines don't have to be perfectly spaced out, they just need to be on there. So if I back up and show you my finished product, my country is still there. You can still see the outline. The darker parts are my outlines. My latitude lines are there, but they're very, very light. The last thing you need to do is include numbers and directions on your latitude and longitude. So you need to decide which 2 hemispheres your country is going to be in. So for instance, I'm going to choose the north and the eastern hemisphere. So each of my lines of latitude, I'm going to put an N on because the latitude lines are north and south. If you want yours to be in the southern hemisphere, then your line should be labeled S for latitude. And because I chose the eastern hemisphere for my lines of longitude, I'm going to put an E for east on all my lines of longitude. I haven't put any numbers yet right now. I just included the N's for my lines of latitude, and then my E's for the lines of longitude. Again, if you want your country to be in the western hemisphere, you can put W's instead of E's, or the southern hemisphere, you can put S's instead of N's. Now I have to add my degrees. I don't care what your degree is as long as you have your numbers spaced 5 degrees apart. So I think I'm going to have my lines of longitude and latitude, the north and eastern hemispheres. Let's start with my latitude. I'm going to start with 5 degrees north. So my country, because it's only 5 degrees north, is going to be close to the equator. So I will count up by fives. So my first line is 5 degrees. My next line is 10 degrees. Because I'm moving north, my lower number's on the bottom and my higher number is, as we move up, we count up in our numbers. So 5, 10, 15 degrees north, 20 degrees north, and then 25 degrees north. So the higher my number, the further north I am. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And so for my lines of longitude, I need to include the numbers as well. So I'm going to make my country close to the equator and the prime meridian. If I'm in the eastern hemisphere, my prime meridian will be over this way. So I'm going to start counting by fives from over here because the prime meridian is 0 degrees. So this one, my first line will be 5 degrees east. My next line will be 10 degrees east. My next line will be 15 degrees east because I'm counting by fives for these as well. My next line is 20 degrees east, and my last line is 25 degrees east. So if the prime meridian is close to this side of my map, I start with my low number and count by fives to draw my lines of latitude and longitude. So I could actually find the exact or absolute location of my country using the lines of latitude and longitude. If you have questions about the numbering, you can use a world atlas to help you and just pick a spot on the map and use the latitude and longitude location for that map, or for that place that you chose on the atlas, for your map, I mean. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me tomorrow. Good luck, and be ready to present tomorrow. Now, after you're done with your lines of latitude and longitude, underneath this video, I will have an outline that you'll have to copy down the answers to the questions. Those answers should go in your notebook. It's a script that you'll need to follow during your presentation tomorrow. So you can download the script outline file that will be right underneath this video and write your answers down on a new page in your notebook. It's pretty self-explanatory if you just read the directions and read each question. So get ready to present tomorrow, and I will see you then.